Now, page 4, letting terrorists into our house. The American people need to think of our country as a home, our home. It's our collective home, right? Our borders are the walls, and the entry ports are the doors. We don't want random people coming into our homes by climbing through a window or scaling a wall or squeezing down a chimney. We want guests to be known to us and or invited before we let them into our homes, right? And we have the right to refuse to open our front doors to anyone, especially if we don't know who they are. It's simple common sense. And this thinking should be applied along our border. If a person is entering our house, aka the United States, in any other way than a legal port of entry, then they should be stopped. And if they are not stopped and they gain entry into our house, then they should be arrested. The only way into our house should be through the front door and with our blessings. If we use this simple, logical standard, then we wouldn't have MS-13 in our house. We wouldn't have this apparent turf war, deadly turf war, between rival south of the border gang members unfolding in, of all places, Maryland. It's insane. These are terrorists. And of course, this criminal activity spreads well beyond rival gangs. Innocent Americans, just going about their lives, are victimized by people who should have never gotten into our house in the first place. This is why we need a secure border once and for all. Decades ago, the wide open border was not that big a deal, not that big a problem, because travel was not as easy as it is today. These days, getting to our southern border is simple, but so is the solution. Secure the border. Don't let these animals, these terrorists, into our house. Yet the entire Democrat Party is mobilized against securing the southern border, as evidenced by the lovely and talented congressperson from Florida, Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
The president is threatening to make our service members' lives even harder.
Stop tape. This is really rich and laughable from this woman. Making our service members' lives harder? This is a woman who has an F Liberty score and about 16%, a 16% rating on terms of funding the military and supporting our troops. So she's saying that the President of the United States is making the military's lives harder when she's been in Congress umpteen years, and she has a terrible record on supporting our troops. It's Debbie Wasserman Schultz who is making the lives of the men and women in the United States military harder and tougher by not funding them, by not giving them the weaponry they need, without giving them the raises that they deserve, without treating them like the heroes that they are for deciding to serve this republic in the United States military. She's the problem. She's the reason the military is underfunded, not the President of the United States. Roll tape.
President Trump says he will steal $3.6 billion
Stop tape.
from Project...
Steal. Steal, as in take, $3.6 billion. First of all, let's put $3.6 billion in perspective. We're talking about a budget right now of somewhere in the neighborhood of $4 trillion. That's not even 1% of the budget. $3.6 billion is a literal drop in the budget. It's a rounding error in the United States budget. And so this money, the president, that's been earmarked for the United States military, the president is using that and some other funds to build the wall to secure our southern border. Let me ask you something, Congresswoman. What is the job of the United States military? What is the fundamental job of the federal government? It's national security. The answer to both questions is national security. And what is our southern flank? What is that all about? Is that not a component of national security? Of course it is. We have some troops down at the border. I believe we ought to have more troops down at the border. I believe we ought to militarize the southern border, because if you talk to the folks down there, the border agents, they will tell you it is a war zone down there. If it's a war zone, then we need to treat it like a war zone. So yes, military funding should be used to secure the southern border, and yes, military personnel should be used to secure the southern border. That's exactly what we should be doing with the military funding. There's nothing more important than securing this republic from a foreign invasion. We're being attacked right now from an army from South America and through into Mexico. And we need to stop it. We need to repel it. It is the job of the United States military to do that. It's the job of the Congress to do that. Unfortunately, the majority in the House of Representatives is absolutely refusing to do its Article 1 job.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.